Welcome to GI Yoga. You guys are so far away. Tonight we're going to talk about flexibility. So, got different things to bring in over the course of the month, but tonight we're going to start with a couple of things about flexibility, and then we're going to talk about and work on spots where men are not flexible. So that tends to be the shoulders, the hips, and the hamstrings. So we're going to concentrate on a couple of different poses tonight that are going to include those three areas that men typically are tight in. But first, we're going to talk a little bit about the nature of flexibility. So I got this from Vivian Hayward and Len Kravitz, PhDs, Flexibility Training. Flexibility refers to the total range of motion of a joint or group of joints. Flexibility, which differs from person to person and from joint to joint, encompasses all components of the musculoskeletal system as well as specific neuromuscular pathways of the body. The structural characteristics of the joints and the mechanical properties of the connective tissues of the muscle tendon structures largely affect the extent of movement around a given joint. So some of the benefits of stretching, while we're starting to notice our breathing, we can take this in as we go. We'll just start with a couple of inhales and exhales. Starting to notice the breath. You can close your eyes if you want. Some of the benefits of stretching to improve our flexibility include an increase in functional range of motion, reduction of low back pain and injury, reduction in the incidence and severity of injury, improvement in posture and muscle symmetry, delay in the onset of muscular fatigue, prevention and alleviation of muscle soreness after exercise, increase in the level of certain skills and muscular efficiency, promotion of mental relaxation, coming into the yoga-ness of it, an opportunity for spiritual growth, meditation and self-evaluation, and personal enjoyment and gratification. So there's more about this later on in our class, but right now we're going to come into our breathing. So if you haven't already and you would like to, close your eyes, resting your hands, palms facing up on your knees, finding that nice tall spine, shoulders above the hips, shoulder blades coming together, dropping the chin just slightly. Taking a few breaths here, finding that natural rhythm. Take 2 or 3 more breaths. Just noticing the rhythm of the breath. When you're ready, we're going to come into a little bit more deeper breath. So we'll start with a 4-part breath. I haven't done this one in a while, but we'll inhale for 4, pause for 4, exhale for 4, pause for 4, and then start at the top again. So if you'd like, you can make an energy mudra with your index finger and thumb, or you can keep your hands relaxed. We're ready? Here we go. I'll count you as we go. So we'll inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, pause, 1, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, pause, 1, 2, 3, 4, checking the posture again. If you want to bring your right hand to the belly, left hand to the heart. I'm going to do some nice deep belly breaths. So we're going to inhale, filling the belly first. Feel the hand move with the inhale. Continue to inhale, filling the lungs. Exhale, pulling the belly button in first, and then release the air from the lungs. Nice deep inhale, filling the belly first, and then the lungs. Exhale, pulling the belly button in first, and then release the air from the lungs. Again, nice deep inhale, filling the belly first, all the way down to the base of the spine, filling the lungs all the way up to the shoulders. Exhale, pulling the belly button in first, release the air from the belly, and then the lungs, and letting the shoulders relax. One more time, nice deep inhale, filling the belly first, all the way down to the base of the spine, all the way down to the toes, filling the lungs all the way up to the shoulders and to the top of the head. Exhale, pulling the belly button in first, release the breath from the top of the head all the way out through the toes. Release your hands back down to your knees. Find that natural rhythm in your breath. Maybe taking a couple breaths here, noticing the coolness of the breath as it comes in through the nostrils, noticing the warmth of the breath as it leaves the nose, going out through the nostrils. When you're ready, gently opening the eyes, starting with the gaze down at the floor, letting the eyelids be heavy to start, and then moving them up. We're going to start by warming up with the joints. So we'll do the wrists and the ankles first. So if you're sitting up on something, you want to come down flat on the floor. Come to the ankles first. You want to pound the legs in the mat, wake them up a little bit, and sit for a while. We'll start with the ankles. So we'll pull the toes towards the chest and then point and flex, back and forth a couple times, feeling that fluid start to move around in there, opening up the feet, and then making circles around with the ankles. One direction and then the other. Maybe independently if they go that way. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. And then we'll finish off with our windshield wipers, feeling that internal, external rotation coming all the way up the thighs. Excellent. And then when you're ready, you can leave your legs out straight if you want, or you can cross them back into an easy pose. And we'll move up to the wrists. So bring both arms all the way straight out, tucking the thumb under, wrapping the fingers around, making circles with the wrists. And making bigger circles getting into the elbows and shoulders, one direction, maybe the opposite. Getting ready to plant all those bulbs that you over-ordered. And then clasping the palms together, making circle eights or infinities if you're math nerds. That one I don't go back and forth the same way. It's usually just one way. Alright, and if you want to shake them out, we'll do Lynn's favorite wrist stretch. So straight arm, gently bringing the fingers towards the shoulder. And then start with the head. Take a nice deep inhale. On the exhale, dropping the chin down towards the chest. And inhale back up. And exhale, chin to chest. Inhale back up. And one more time, exhale, chin to chest. Inhale back up, and then we're going to go left ear to left shoulder. Inhale, center. Exhale, right ear to right shoulder. Inhale, center. Exhale, left ear to left shoulder. Inhale, center. Exhale, right ear comes to the right shoulder. And inhale, back up to center. One more time each side. Exhale, left ear to left shoulder. And from here, if you want to bring this left arm up and over, resting the left hand on the right side of the head. Gently, just giving gravity a little extra oomph. No pushing or pulling, making space between the right ear and the right shoulder. And then the inhale, releasing the arm out to the side, head comes up to center. Exhale, right ear to right shoulder. Bring that right arm on the outside, the left side of the head. Again, making space between the ear and the shoulder. Just gently resting. And then release. At the inhale, head comes up. And then we're going to come up and move our shoulders. So with an inhale, we'll pull them up. Exhale, bring them back. Ready, here we go. Inhale, coming forward. Exhale, going back. Inhale, forward. Exhale, back. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, going back. And because it feels so good, one more time. Inhale up and exhale back. And let's go in the opposite direction. So we're going to inhale, bringing the shoulders back. Exhale, forward. Inhale, back. Exhale, forward. Inhale, back. Exhale, forward. Go ahead on your own, do a couple more, whichever direction you need tonight. Inhaling and exhaling. So we want to get those shoulders nice and warmed up. We're going to be using them a bit later. Nice and stretched out. Excellent. So let's go ahead and switch the cross of the leg. And then we're going to move the spine side to side. So we'll start with this left hand on the floor, on the mat. Just make sure it's not going to slip. We're going to inhale this right arm up and over. Exhale and release. Inhale, bring that left arm up and over. Exhale and release. Inhale, up and over. Exhale and release. Inhale, that left arm up. And exhale and release. I'll go ahead and let you go. Keep moving on your own. Do a couple rounds. You can increase your speed if that feels good. You can decrease your speed. You can come down lower onto the forearm. Whatever feels good. As long as you're moving with the finishing up on the left side. We're going to come into our first forward fold. Since we're still warming up, we're just going to go to that spot where we meet resistance, and we're going to breathe into it a couple of times. So the first one we're going to do is with our knees crossed. So each time we do it, we're going to do it slightly different, getting into different muscles as we go. We're going to use our friend gravity. So we'll inhale, both arms up, exhale, and forward fold, hinging at the hips. Wherever your hands get to, we're just going to release them onto the floor. And take a couple of breaths here. Each time we inhale, we're going to come up slightly. Each time we exhale, we're going to deepen the fold. One or two more breaths here. And when you feel complete with this pose, we're going to round the spine, tucking the chin, and we're going to drag the hands back as we roll up one vertebrae at a time. Make it nice and slow, the head is heavy. Excellent. And then from here, we're going to do a couple of floor things before we come up to our hands and knees. So we're going to start with bringing that left leg straight out in front, right foot in the mat, and we'll start with our first twist. And again, we're still warming up, so we want to go just to that point of resistance and then use the breath to work with it. So we're going to take this left hand on the outside of that right knee. Right hand comes behind us at the spine. We're going to use that right hand to push up, lengthening the spine. Inhale, spine is straighter. Exhale, belly, chest, chin, come around towards that right shoulder. And keep that left leg engaged. With each inhale, we're going to lengthen the spine. With each exhale, coming deeper into that spiral. And then when you're ready, coming back to center, bring this right foot on top of this left thigh. If you want, bringing the fingers in between the toes, making space. And then we're going to make circles around with that right ankle. And releasing the fingers. We're going to bring that right foot into this left elbow. This right hand can come on that knee, or that knee can come into that right elbow, into our rock the baby or cradle pose. Keeping that left leg engaged. Opening up that hip. We're going to be using these hips later in class too. And then if you want from here, you can bring that knee up and down into those hip flexors. When you're ready, you're going to release that right foot into that left thigh. And again, we're going to use gravity coming into our next forward fold. We'll inhale, both arms up. Exhale, forward fold. If you want, you can cross the wrists over the shins and melt into this forward fold. Taking a few breaths here. If you want, you can tighten this quad on top to release release the hamstring on the bottom. We'll be doing some hamstring work tonight as well. 1 or 2 more breaths here. And then when you're ready, extending both arms straight out. Inhale the arms up. Exhale and release. Excellent. Now we're going to come to the other side. This right leg comes all the way straight out. Left foot comes into the mat. Take this right hand on the outside of that left knee. Left hand comes behind us at the spine. Pushing in with that left arm to lengthen the spine. Keeping that right leg engaged. Inhale, lengthening the spine. Exhale, belly, chest, chin. Come around towards that left shoulder. One more full breath here. And then coming back to center, bringing this left foot on top of that right thigh. Fingers, if you'd like, in between the toes. Making circles around with that ankle. One direction and then the other. And release the fingers, bringing that left foot into that right elbow, coming into our rock the baby. Keeping that right leg engaged for stability. Feeling that hip opening up. And if you like, bringing that left knee up and down, coming into that hip flexor. And then when you're ready, bringing that left foot into that right thigh. And come into our forward fold here. Inhale, both arms up. Exhale, and forward fold. If you like, you can cross the wrists over the shin to release the shoulder blades. Take a few breaths here and just melt into this pose, letting that hamstring relax so it can stretch further. Take 2 more breaths here. And then when you're ready, extending both arms straight up. Inhale, both arms up. Exhale, and release. Excellent. Now we're going to come into our cat and cow. So up onto hands and knees. Coming at a bit of an angle, then you can see where the spine's moving here instead of just straight on. So I want to stack our wrists, elbows, and shoulders. Knees are under the hips, hip width distance apart. We're going to start with an inhale, looking up at the horizon, dropping the belly towards the floor, tilting the hips forward. Exhale, pushing in with the arms, rounding the spine, tucking the chin and tailbone. Inhale back up to our cow. And exhale back to cat. We'll go a couple of rounds, moving at your own pace with your own rhythm. Inhaling up to cow. Exhale, coming back to cat.
restricting